and welcome to Adventure on Discovery Island. I'm Pastor Sue and I am your hostess for this week. We are going to have tons of fun. You guys, you're going to hear some cool songs, you're going to get some games, you're going to get some trivia, we've got some puppeting going on, a whole bunch of things. And you're also going to meet lots of new friends. You're going to meet our Adventure Island kids. You're going to meet Miss Hannah. She does an incredible science experiment every day. And you're also going to have some adventures with the lighthouse keeper, JJ, and Beacon the Puffin. So we're going to go on a journey, and we are going to discover every day some infinity lanterns. And these lanterns are going to light a really cool path to us. It takes us right into God's Word, the Bible. So are you ready? Well, let's discover Adventure Island.
Ahead, never walked this road before,
but I am confident, never been more sure.
We are discovering who we're made to be as we discover who you are. Discovery on Adventure Island. Discovery on Adventure Island. Knowing God will always guide us. The Spirit leads will go. Trusting Jesus we will follow. Discovery on Adventure Island. We will seek until we find the way, the truth and the light. On a quest for the light. Do 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 do. We go with hope, we go with trust, joy in our hearts, we lift you up. We go with love, we go with faith, 'cause we are seeking Jesus' face. We go with hope, we go with trust, joy in our hearts, we lift you up. We go with love, we go with faith, 'cause we are seeking Jesus' face. Discovery on Adventure Island. Discovery on Adventure Island. Knowing God will always guide us. The Spirit leads will go. Trusting Jesus we will follow. Discovery on Adventure Island. We will seek until we find the way, the truth and the light. On the quest for the light. Do 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 do. Discovery on Adventure Island.
Hello, explorers! I'm Lighthouse Keeper JJ, reporting from my first day on Adventure Island. Thanks for joining me. My parents both studied lighthouses, and when I was young, they would tell me stories of this place. They discovered this journal of Professor Luminari's, Adventure Island's very first lighthouse keeper. In it, he used mysterious riddles and sketches to describe lanterns that never go out, called infinity lanterns. No one's been able to find them. Maybe I will. If only I could find the missing map. Wait a minute. What's that? Is this an infinity lantern right here? I'm going in for a closer look. Achoo! False alarm. This is definitely not an infinity lantern. I think I could probably use some help finding them. Would you boys and girls like to help? Yes? Great. There's something quite mysterious about Adventure Island. Like, you never know what's gonna pop up next.
Hello. Are you okay?
Yes. Are you a talking bird?
Absolutely. I am a puffin.
Did you hear that? The bird states, it's a muffin. It's surely confused, or I'm hallucinating from all this heat.
That's puffin. Maybe you'd better sit down.
Oh, yes. Maybe I should. Oh, feeling a bit hot.
The heavens declare your glory. The skies are the work of your hands. Day after day, all
Whew, that's better. Thank you, Muffin.
That's Puffin, but you can call me Beacon.
Bacon? That's a strange name for a bird.
I said Beacon.
That's what I said. But more importantly, have you ever heard of the legend of the Infinity Lanterns? I've been studying Professor Luminari's journal, and these explorers are here to help me find them. But Professor Luminari only included riddles and sketches in his journal.
That sounds like something Professor Luminari would do. He was a strange bird.
You knew Professor Luminari, so you do know about the legend.
I sure do. The Infinity Lanterns once lined the path to the lighthouse, but Professor Luminari scattered them across the island.
Interesting. Why would he do that?
Like I said, he was a strange bird. The Infinity Lanterns all contain a special kind of light, a light that never goes out. But it's more than that. The lights in each of the lanterns are special ways God shines light into the world, and they also show us how we can shine God's light to others.
That sounds very important. We really need to find them. If only we had a map of the island.
A map like that one right there?
You are an amazing bird. You found the map. Maybe I could use some sort of GPS or satellite imaging to find the lanterns on the map.
That's not how we find things on Adventure Island. But don't worry, you should have all you need to discover the lanterns.
I hope you're right, Bacon.
That's Beacon.
I've studied Professor Luminari's journal for years, but never had the map until now. Maybe we could use both to find the lanterns. Here's the first journal entry. To find the Infinity Lantern of Love, don't get confused. Search high and low with the map. Use the following clues. 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. Together they make a full week. Study the ancient story of beginnings to locate the lantern you seek. So it looks like the first Infinity Lantern is love. So 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. Is this describing Professor Luminari's first week on the job? No. It has to be older than that. Where do I look for an ancient story? Is there a library on Adventure Island?
There are no libraries. However, you can't get more ancient than the beginning of time. What about looking in your reference book?
Excellent idea. I have my Bible right here. This looks like a good place for a beginning. A book called Genesis. Look, Professor Luminari created markings on the map. There are letters that go down the side and numbers that go across the top, making the whole thing look like a checkers board. If only we knew where the lanterns were.
The riddle asks you to look at this specific Bible story. Where was the story found in the Bible?
Genesis chapter 1.
Gee, it does make one wonder.
What was that?
I said, gee, it does make one
Aha!
wonder.
I figured it out! If you take the first letter of the book in the Bible, G for Genesis, and the number of the chapter, number 1, it takes me right here to G1. And if you look closely, there's a symbol that looks a lot like a lantern. That must be the Infinity Lantern of Love. Eureka!
I think he's got it.
Okay, so we have the map location. Let's go!
Wait a minute. Before starting out on this great adventure, you must first recite the island signal verse. The signal verse is a guiding light for all adventurers on the island. It comes from Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you.
Explorers, say it with me. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you. Okay, so we have our signal verse and the location of the lantern. Let's go!
Hold on. Isn't there more to being an explorer than just finding things?
Absolutely. Explorers, as we are looking for these lanterns, we will need to learn more about how to handle these Infinity Lanterns correctly. And to do so, we will need to learn about the specific light contained in each lantern.
I think Professor Luminari wanted explorers to realize how important we are as lights in the world, pointing others to Jesus. And we learn to shine our light by learning about these truths in the Bible.
So in addition to finding these Infinity Lanterns, our mission is to learn more about the light of love?
Exactly. Anything else I need to know about being an explorer?
Well, one important thing for being an explorer is to have a way to get from one place to another. Explorers sometimes travel long distances to make great discoveries. Is there some way we can get from where we are to the Infinity Lantern of Love using the light of love?
I think so. On Adventure Island, we say, "It is time to arise and let your light shine." We call these sayings pathfinders. So the pathfinder to the light of love would be, arise, shine with love.
Pathfinders. I like that. Paths are definitely a great way to get from one place to another, especially on an island. So let's say it together, explorers. Arise, shine with love. Okay, now let's add some motion so that we won't forget it. So when we say arise, everybody stand up. When we say shine, everybody stretch your arms over your head and bring them down to your sides. When we say love, everybody wrap your arms around your chest like a hug. So now are we ready to go?
Exactly. Explorers, follow your island guides as we begin our first adventure.
In the book of Genesis, the first book in the Bible, we find a story that tells us what happened during the first week of, well, everything. You see, in the beginning, the very beginning, there was only darkness and emptiness. On day 1 of the first week, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. When God said, "Let there be light," there was a lot of light. Perfect. God said that the light was good. God called the light day and the darkness night. On day 2 of the first week, God said, "Let there be a dome in the middle of the water to separate waters from each other." Let's just call it the sky. God called this new creation sky, and it was separated from the water below. And it was good. On day 3 of the first week, God created land, dirt, rocks, islands, and mountains. Then God decided to fill all the land with grass, trees, flowers, herbs, berries, fruits, and vegetables. Basically, any kind of plant. And it was good. On day 4, God created lights in the sky, stars, and planets. God made 2 big lights for our planet. The larger light to shine all day, the sun, and the smaller light to shine at night, the moon. And it was good. On day 5, God created all sorts of birds like robins, cardinals, eagles, falcons, puffins, ducks, and parrots. God also filled the oceans and rivers with all sorts of animals like tiny shrimp, crab, octopus, eel, and every kind of fish. Both sky and water were filled with creatures now. And it was good. On day 6, God filled the land with animals of all shapes and sizes. Monkeys and baboons, otters and prairie dogs, panda bears and polar bears, crawling bugs and flying insects, giant elephants and tall giraffes, and even duck-billed platypuses. Basically every animal you can think of, and even some that we've never thought of. And all of this was good. But God wasn't done yet. God had one more creation to reveal. Saving the best for last, God created humans. This was God's great masterpiece. This was unlike everything else God created so far. This creation would be able to have a relationship with God. And when the work was done, God didn't just think they were good. No, God really loved this latest creation and said they were very good. So, what happened on day 7 of the first week? God rested. It wasn't because God was tired or needed a vacation. No, God rested because God had created everything. It was all good. And God loved everyone and everything in creation. And that's how it happened in the Bible. Well, you guys, I hope you are already enjoying Discovery on Adventure Island. Now, each day after you see the Bible clip, just like you've seen, I'm just going to come and I'm going to just share a couple of my own reflections with you. So today I have with me a little story bag. In today's story, we were told about the 6 days that God created everything we see on the face of the earth. And then on day 7, God rested. But on days 1 through 6, he created the sun and the moon and the stars and the planets and the water and the land and the animals and the fish and the plants and the trees. He created everything, and he said it was good. After he created all things, he decided to create people like you and me, mankind. Now, if you recall, up until God created man, everything he created, he spoke into the air. For example, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. "Let there be oceans," and "Let there be land," and there was. "Let there be animals." He spoke it into the air, and it happened. But God wanted mankind, human beings, to be special and unique. So he decided to play in the dirt, maybe the color of the dirt on this bag. And God just kind of got down, and he took the dirt and he formed it into the shape of a man. And after he was done shaping the figure, he breathed his breath into it. And that is how God created man. And of course, God called that first man Adam. And boys and girls, from that time on, every single human being that God has created has been unique and special. What is the thing that tells human beings apart? Many, many billions of people have been born now over thousands of years. But do you know what? Just like the handprints you see on this part of the story bag, no two human beings have ever been born with the exact same fingerprint. That is exactly what God wanted. He wanted each one of us to be unique and special. But then God decided that Adam needed a helper, a friend. So God had a plan. So in order to do this, God put Adam into a deep, deep sleep. I don't know if Adam was dreaming while he was in that deep sleep, but what kind of things would he have dreamt? Maybe he thought, wow, what a beautiful place I have to live in. What a beautiful world. I don't know. But anyway, as Adam was sleeping, God took one rib from Adam's side. Just sort of like all of the bones in these skeletons, he took a rib. And from that rib, he formed a woman, a helper for Adam, a friend for Adam, somebody that Adam could just spend the days and evenings with. Yes, boys and girls, God created a woman, and he made woman very different from man. And he gave Adam the privilege of naming the woman, and Adam named her Eve. And everybody, the best part of the story is that eventually Adam and Eve fell in love. And God just declared them to be husband and wife, and from them came children, and they had children, and they had children. And so you and I, every single person, if we go way back to the beginning of time, we are descendants of Adam and Eve. Guys, what I want you to get out of this is something that comes from the book of Psalm 139. And it just tells how God loves us so much. He made every one of us special. We are a masterpiece. It tells us that God knew us before we were ever born. We are God's best part of creation. That is such a privilege, and I hope that speaks to you today.
Hello, Pathfinders! Welcome to our daily discovery. I am Miss Hannah, and I'll be your discovery leader here on Adventure Island. Here we are going to test some fun experiments that focuses on our daily topics. And to start us off today, our experiment focuses on the creation story. I have here a starry poster. When we talk about the beginning of the world, what do you usually think about? Feel free to share your thoughts on our comment section. Well, one of the most interesting things that we hear about in Genesis 1 is how God made light. And usually we think of it as something that we can see. But did you know that some light is actually invisible? So, come with me and let's take a look at invisible light to show you what I mean. Well, I have here two kinds of paper, two of each, and two kinds of writing utensils, two of each as well. So I have some wax crayons and some highlighters, and some copy paper and construction paper. What we're going to do here to test our experiment is I'm going to make 4 different combinations and then draw on the paper something. And I'm going to show that to you now. Which one do you think shines the most? So number 1 is the copy paper and wax crayon, and it says, "Let there be light." And then the second one is a combination of construction paper and highlighter, and it says, "Shine." The third one is a combination of construction paper and wax crayon, and you're supposed to see a light bulb. And then the last one, the fourth one, is a combination of copy paper and highlighter. And I drew the sun, the moon, and some stars. Well, share to us which one you think shined the most. Well, I think this one shined the most. In white light, you can't really see it as bright as in the black light, but this one says shine, and this one is what I think shine the most. And that's because the black light or the ultraviolet light is invisible, and some things shine brightly under ultraviolet light. Some of the materials we used have something in them called phosphorus, and it's a material that emits light when exposed to radiation such as the ultraviolet light. And phosphorus soak up light, so when we turn off the lights and I use the ultraviolet light instead, the lights stored in the materials were energized, and that made our papers glow in beautiful ways. And Pathfinders, when God made the universe and our world, He made the light, water, sky, land, animals, plants, the sun, the moon, the stars, and us. He made everything. So remember, we can't see God, but we can know a lot about Him by looking at the world He made. We can shine God's light of love in all creation. Well, that is our first discovery here on Adventure Island. Thank you for joining me, Pathfinders, and see you next time. So arise, shine with love.
and peace. Everything we'll ever need. Our hearts are restored. We find everything we need and more in Jesus. Jesus, busting through the roof just to get to Jesus. Jesus, busting through the roof just to get to Jesus.
Explorers! Looks like we all made it back from our adventure. Wasn't exploring Adventure Island great? Beacon, we have great news.
Did you find it?
We sure did. What you're looking at here is the first of 5 infinity lanterns that I believe are all hidden on the island. Thank you, explorers, for your help. The only question is, what do we do with it now?
Maybe you should look back in the journal. It hasn't led you astray yet.
Wise words, my feathered friend. Here's the last journal entry before Professor Luminari retired. Lighthouse path. Lanterns once again light the way, with 5 infinity lanterns shining all night and all day. To the noble in character and the brave of heart, recover the lanterns that were scattered apart.
It sounds like you need to find all 5 infinity lanterns, then light the path to the lighthouse once again.
We're off to a great start with the light of love. Explorers, do you remember what we learned about God's love? God is love, and everything God creates is out of love.
So the light of love is in the first infinity lantern lighting our path?
It appears so. I believe Professor Luminari wanted us to learn about the light of love by learning from Genesis chapter 1.
How do you carry the light of love?
Well, that's a good question. One way we can carry the light of love is by caring for our world and environment. But most importantly, we can carry the light of love by treating others kindly and with respect.
Excellent. Now it's time for our Pathfinder saying.
Explorers, say it with me. Arise, shine with love. Okay, now let's say it again, but with those motions we learned. Arise, shine with love.
Great job. Now it's time for our Adventure Island signal verse. Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you.
Thank you, Bacon. And thank you, explorers. What an awesome first day on the island. Let me pray and thank God for our wonderful day on the Adventure Island. Lord, thank you that you love to create and that you love your creation. Thank you that you love us deeply. Help us to rise and shine with love. May your love shine in our lives so that others may see you. Amen.
Hey kids, did you have fun today? I'm telling you, I had so much fun on Discovery Island. God did a really good job of creating the planet, the earth, and you and me, didn't he? Now, if you enjoyed today, why don't you come on back tomorrow? Bring some friends with you. You can even sort of have a watch party in your living room or maybe in your backyard. So we'll be on again tomorrow and the rest of the week at 10 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 6 in the evening. So remember, arise and shine with love.